Hello everyone, welcome to Wings IES JKAS. My name is Abhinav Khajuria and I welcome you all in my polity lecture series of the previous UPSC questions. Let's start with the first question of the polity. Question number 1. Which one of the following is not a feature of the Indian federalism? Indian federalism is asymmetrical federalism. The options: there is an independent judiciary in India. So there is an independent judiciary in India. Constitution of the Part 4, the directive principles of the state policy, which says that executive is separated from the judiciary. So this option is wrong. The second option is powers have been clearly divided between the center and the states. If we look at the schedule 7 of the constitution, which talks about the union list, the state list and the concurrent list clearly, so powers are clearly divided between the center and the state. So again it is a feature, so this answer is wrong. Next option is the federating units have been given unequal representation in the Rajya Sabha. Based on proportional representation, there has been unequal representation, but if we talk about the equal representation, there is an example of the upper house of the USA, which is the Senate. So in this case it is the wrong option again. So obviously last option, it is the result of an agreement among the federating units. It is true in case of USA, where it has been, or where there has been the agreement between the states, the United States of America, and it is famously called as the indestructible union of the indestructible states. But in case of India, it is indestructible union of the destructible states. So obviously the answer is D. So let's move on to the second question. Which of the following statements are true of the fundamental duties of an Indian citizens? अगर हम फंडामेंटल ड्यूटीज़ की बात करें तो पार्ट 4A स्वर्ण सिंह कमेटी हमने बोरो किया है ये अर्स्टवाइल यूएसएसआर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से. एंड द ऑप्शंस आर अ लेजिस्लेटिव प्रोसेस हैज़ बीन प्रोवाइडेड टू इन्फोर्स दीज ड्यूटीज़. तो अगर इफ़ वी लुक एट द fundamental duties, they are non-justiciable, non-enforceable in nature. We can also consider them as non-justiciable, means we cannot approach to court on the basis of fundamental duties, on the violation of the fundamental duties. So a legislative process has been provided to enforce these duties. This is wrong. They are correlative to the legal duties. Now legal duties and fundamental duties both are different. There is a difference between the fundamental duties and there is a difference between the legal duties. When we talk about the legal duties, they must be or they should be enforceable in nature. So this makes the difference between the fundamental duties. So of course this statement is also wrong. So the right option is option D, neither 1 nor 2. Moving on to the third question. Which of the following are not necessarily the consequences of the proclamation of the president's rule in a state? President rule की अगर हम बात करें, as per article 356, there is the emergency power of the president rule, and the statements are dissolution of the state legislative assembly. So basically president has the power to suspend or dissolve the legislative assembly as per article 357, but the thing is that it is not necessary. So the question, look at the question, not necessarily. So the dissolution of the state legislative assembly, it is not necessary, it is not mandatory. So the option is right. Second, removal of the council of ministers of the state. Now there is a removal of the council of the ministers of the state, because governor जो होते हैं, governor they overtake on behalf of the president the functions of the council of ministers in the state. So this option is wrong because it is necessarily done in the president rule, and the question is not necessarily. Moving on to the statement number 3, dissolution of the local bodies, again right. Dissolution of the local bodies जो है and dissolution of the state assembly जो है, they are being done but not necessarily again. So again this is right. So the right option is option B, 1 and 3. Moving on to the fourth question, quite popular and very important from the UPSC point of view. It has been asked in the 2017 and became quite controversial because there were several opinions regarding the right to vote. let's look at the technicality of the question. The right to vote and to be elected in India is a. Now there are four options: fundamental right, natural right, constitutional right and legal right. Now there has been several judicial cases like the Kuldeep Nair case, the Anup Barwal case and recent 5 judges bench headed by Justice Kurian Joseph, in which the verdict has been given as per Article 326. The right to vote is indeed a constitutional right, because the right to vote, it is related, when we talk about Article 326, there has been written about the adult suffrage in the Article 326. So when we talk about the universal adult suffrage as per Article 326, it basically exhibits the right to vote as the constitutional right, and also as per the interpretation of the judiciary through the cases like Anup Barwal and Kuldeep Nair case of 2015 and 2006 respectively, the court has given the opinion that right to vote is a constitutional right. And talking about the 5 judges benches, there has been one judge, Justice Rastogi, who has given the opinion that right to vote is also a fundamental right. So talking about the right answer, the UPSC in the 2017 prelims has given the right answer in their key as the constitutional right. So with all these facts and figures and along with the official key of the UPSC, we will stick to the option C, constitutional right, not fundamental right, not a natural right and not a legal right. Okay, so let's move forward to the last question. Now question number 5 is, consider the following statements. The Election Commission of India is a 5-member body. Now we need to see which of the following statements are correct. Now the Election Commission of India as per Article 324 has its own functions. It is a constitutional body, it is an autonomous body and it can be increased up to the 5 members, but currently it has only 3 members. One is the Chief Election Commissioner and the other 2 are the Election Commissioners of India. So of course this statement is wrong. Moving on to the second statement, the Union Ministry of Home Affairs decides the election schedule for the conduct of both general elections and by-elections. So technically the Union of Home Ministers, it doesn't decide anything, because the Election Commission of India is a constitutional body which is of autonomous nature. So again wrong. Last option, Election Commission resolves the disputes relating to splits, mergers of the recognized political parties, which is true. It is the function and part of the function of the Election Commission of India. So the right answer is option D. And friends, as you all know that Wings IAS has started the GS Foundation course of 2024 and Ruthless Rapid Revision for the coming KS preliminary examination. So you can check the links and you can register also. Along with the GS Foundation course, we have also started the optional of the political science and the international relations. It is being taught by me and we have already started the classes, and you can check the demo classes on the link below, and it is open for every candidate, so you can decide for yourself. And I hope that the questions that we have discussed today have been informative for you. Look for more such questions. Do subscribe the channel and don't forget to share and like. Thank you.